Right, so new product today, something we've been working on for quite a while and something I'm really excited about. So, for a long time, for many years, I've always thought if you've got a two-seater transporter, it lacks the centre console, and quite a few people have had a go at kind of building them. There's a couple of options out there, universal ones that sort of fit. Some people have made wooden versions that they carpet line, and they all kind of do a job, but we thought that they deserved something really special and something that actually served a function, and this is it. So this is our new transporter centre console. So this thing is designed to work in any transporter, T5 to T6.1, with two single front seats without swivel bases. This is actually already in the process to work with the new transporter, the T7 and the new Transit Custom, because it's just a case of changing the adapter plates. These fit and bolt into the existing seat brackets in the transporter, and they will the new versions. So let me tell you a little bit more about it. So it's high gloss finish black. It has two cup holders here that are illuminated. It has a wireless charger here which fits all phones in either direction. It's got sunglass or pen holder here. This is your armrest height. So on some vehicles on the passenger side you'll have to lose your armrest. It doesn't matter because this sits at, or Mitch will show you when he fits it, the height your arm would be when you're driving, so it replaces your armrests. Or if you have a vehicle that doesn't have armrests, you have now gained armrests. Inside these two armrests that are leather covered, you have charging ports, a big amount of storage, and then an on and off switch, and that's for the lights here, because these two light up when they're plugged in. Around the back here, just to make it that little bit more special, we've added a fridge version. So there's two versions available, one that's just got a storage hole here and one that's got a fridge. This is the fridge version. Then on the bottom there, you've got a USB-C and standard USB charging port, as well as a place to put your phone. But yeah, packed full of features. There's chargers inside here as well. We've had one of these now, well, the sample version of this in our Caravelle for 3 or 4 months. It's been really nice. Just think it's almost that thing that's just missing out of a transporter that now doesn't need to be. So I'm going to hand you over to Mitch. Mitch is going to show you how to install this, how to plug it in, how to get the electrics and the fridge working, how to show you not to drain your battery, to set it all up off an ignition live, and run you through the features that this got a little bit closer up and in a bit more detail than I've just done now.
So welcome to another Mitch Fits video. Today we're going to fit the centre console that we've got here. First thing I'm going to do is take the seats out. We've all done that quite a few times now on these videos, so we'll skip through that, a lot of it, and then show you the first steps of installing the armrest. So I've got a 13mm socket to take the seat off the seat base. This vehicle's got a bit of audio in, so it's a little bit more tight on this one, but depending on the specification of your van or what you've done to it, see how easy or hard this is going to be. But yeah, 4 13s to start with, take the seat off the seat base. So there's a little bit of wiring to remove when you take the seats out. You've got 2 plugs on this particular vehicle. You may have more depending on, again, on the spec, but just check any cabling that goes underneath. Make sure you unplug that. So I can now lift this seat out of the van. Repeat the same on the passenger side. So the 4 nuts, as you can see, we've got just here. And then once you've done the passenger side, we've then got to undo the 16mm nuts. So you've got your 16 there. There's 4 of these. I've got one hidden under my amplifier here, so I've got to do a little bit of work to get that out. And then there's 2 at the back, which are, again, relatively accessible. So we'll undo those, so then our seat base will be nice and loose. So that's the seat base now removed. So what I'm going to do this side, well, I'll probably try and cheat and just do the 4 bolts at the bottom, and then we can just tilt this one out of the way. And then I'll grab our first part of the adapter. Same again with the passenger seat, watch out for your wiring. You will have some connectors. So my cheat method didn't quite work out, so the whole seat did need coming out because the sub was in the way. But if you haven't got a sub, then you might just be able to undo those bolts, as I said. So now I can lift this just out and move to the side slightly, like so. So now I'm going to grab our bracket. So this is the mounting bracket. The way that it works is it secures via the 4 holes here into the inner of the chassis seat bolts. So essentially we just sandwich this down against the seat. You'll notice you've got R1, L1. These are basically if you're going to fit it in a right-hand drive manner, or if you're going to fit it as a left-hand drive. So it's just a case of moving these. If you are left-hand drive, you just need to move these over. To do this, flip it over, you've got a couple of screws, unscrew those, and then re-screw them back in the L1 location. So what we'll do is just slide it under this base and this one at the same time. See, the handbrake is a little bit of a fiddly bit, so actually I'm going to go in from the front. Right, there we go. So this is now located on the studs of the seat, so I can go ahead and now put my seat bases back on top like so. The handbrake is giving me a little bit of a fight here. There we go. So that's now in place. You'll see what I mean by if you were needing to move it over. So the locator is right up against the handbrake, and then your L1 is now covered by the handbrake. So you can see how it is left and right hand drive compatible. So I'm just going to put the 4 16mm nuts back in place. So I've got our new center console, just fix it in place. So the way it works is you drop it in location and then slide it forwards. It will just lock into place. So you need to be careful you don't get your cable trapped like I just did. So that needs to come to the front. And you may just need to give it a little bit of wiggle. There we go. So I've now got the locators in line. As you can see here, there is three fixings per side. So you can just manipulate it a little bit if you need to line it up a bit better, but that is now in place. So I'll grab my bag of fixings, which comes with the wiring for the power for the fridge unit as well. So we'll get those fixed down and then wire up the fridge. So here's my fixings in this lovely sealy bag. I'll get this opened and then start securing them. So I'll pull them out just here. So I'm not going to do them all up too tight just yet. I'll do them up by hand, and then once they're all in, then I'll tighten them up properly. So now that all 6 are in, I can go ahead and tighten them properly. With our bag of accessories, you get 2 different size fuse taps. You get a micro or a standard blade, and then just the connector for the unit itself. So the idea is, power-wise, you can obviously use a fuse tap. You could go to a leisure battery if you've got one, or depends how you want to wire it up. You could wire it on ignition, you could wire it up on a constant. Bear in mind that obviously that's going to start draining your battery. We're going to wire it up on a constant for now, just for the video. We've got a fuse box. On a T6.1, you get a fuse box under the passenger seat, just as a default. This is suitable for powering the unit if you are powering on a constant feed. If you're going to go on an ignition feed, I would say you want to go to the fuse box. So if you've got a T6.1, it's below the headlight switch, and then you'll be using this kind of connector here. But if you've got a T6 or below, then the fuse box is more central to the dash, so then you've got to run some cables to that instead. So, like I say, because we've got a 6.1 here, I'm going to use the fuse box that would be under the passenger side, but because the conversion that's been done on this particular vehicle, it's been moved to the driver's side. So what I'll do, wire that up and get the unit powered up. So on a T6.1, as mentioned, there's a fuse box on the passenger side. This vehicle, it's been relocated to the driver's side, so I've got it just here. So my plan is I'm going to use the spare terminal on this van. You can see it's pinned on one side only. So I'll be putting our fuse tap in place, like so. And then this will now get connected to the bullet that comes with the kit. So that there is how we get our power. And then you want to find an earth bolt, which is under this amplifier. You'll find there's a flap on the carpet to do that. And once you've got all that sorted, you can tidy up your wiring. I'll grab some cable ties on this one in a minute, but we should now have power. So I'm just going to open this. As you can see, we've got some illumination for the USB power. There's a switch here for some illumination for the cup holders, and then we've got our fridge unit. Now I need to see how you turn it on, because I've not even looked yet. Here we go, that's now powered up. So I've just pressed the icicle button. I can hear the fan now running. So we've got a lovely refrigerator there. I'm just gonna go and open the box for the storage one. So there is one that's available without the fridge, and it's like a storage compartment. Don't forget to clip your wiring back up on your seats. So I'm doing all of the bolts just hand tight for now, and then once I've got the fourth one in, then I'll go ahead and tighten them up properly. Close up. Onto the passenger seat now. So because we've now got an armrest here, if you already have an armrest fitted to your passenger seat, you will need to remove this. The kit comes with a blank. Because you've obviously now got another armrest in place, you won't really need to. It will make sense when we fit it. But what I'm gonna do now is take the armrest off the passenger seat. So to do this, you wanna pop this cover off. You probably need a trim tool, but there we go, that just pops off. And then we've got a spline drive inside here. Simple as that. And then in our bag, we've got this. So this is just a blanking plate. So in case of pop it on here and put the original bolt back in. So this just covers all the exposed mechanism left over from the original armrest. Once you've done that, you've got a little cover, pop your cover on. You've got 4 tabs, 4 locators. There we go. So now this seat is ready to go back in the van. So don't forget your wiring again. So that is our armrest now installed, or our fridge unit, whatever you want to call it. I've brought out the storage only version, the non-fridge unit as well, just to show you. As you can see visually, it looks the same. You haven't got your display here, but you've got the same opening door with a large flocked storage facility, whereas this one here has obviously got our fridge, which is already cold. It's been running probably 5 minutes so far, so pretty quickly that's got cold. So as you can see, the driver's single armrest is still available. You can keep that. You can get it to line up nicely with the extended armrest here with our storage pocket with the USBs as well. So as mentioned, there is a switch to turn the illumination off if it's not something you wanted. So it saves you battery, especially if you powered it up permanently like we have. But yeah, you can see you've obviously had to lose your armrest there, but you've gained an additional one. A few things to mention. These units will be available for the new Transit and the new T7 when they come out very, very soon, as long as it's a single passenger seat. Obviously you have a single driver's seat, but as long as you've got 2 seats at the front, not 3, you'll be able to have one of these units. Same with the Transporter. You can't fit these if you've got a double passenger seat, must be a single. But as for compatibility, you've seen how it goes in. It bolts to the original seat markers or seat anchor points, nice and secure. You know, there's a tiny bit of movement, but no more movement than there is on the factory armrest. So yeah, really impressed with this unit. Should be quite a nice addition to your Transporter.